You know, in most selling situations, there's some negotiation that has to take place. We define negotiation as working out the problems that keep people from buying when they want to buy. And the key to it is when they want to buy. And so if I'm at a position that someone says, I like what you're recommending, I know it will do what I want it to do, but I have a problem. Now, the problem may be the price or the terms or the delivery or it can be any number of things. But then I'm in a position to negotiate.
Well, someone asked me some time ago, are you a good negotiator? And I know it's something I've always looked at from afar and said, I want to be a good negotiator, you know. And then I realized once I was exposed to integrity selling that it is just solving problems.
Integrity selling kind of gave me a new outlook on negotiating, because really, if you asked the appropriate questions and you had your discussion correctly in the beginning, the negotiation should never be difficult. So with that different outlook, that was my aha moment. I said, wow, geez, I need to do a more proficient job at asking the right questions, not only to sell a product, but to make sure that there aren't any issues later on, especially after our discussion.
The most difficult objection to overcome is the hidden objection.
A lot of salespeople will say, you shouldn't think for your clients, which you shouldn't, and you certainly shouldn't throw out something that could potentially be a negative. But I would much rather get it out there on the table and talk about it than have them wonder about it later. People can deal with what they know. Okay? If they don't know it, they don't like being surprised. So it's always best to talk about it.
Negotiation, I learned a long time ago, and this may not be the right spin on it, that I can't convince people to do things that they're not willing to do on their own. And early in my career, I always struggled with that because I thought my powers of persuasion should allow me to do that.
The most powerful form of persuasion is to understand, listen and understand. You can truly persuade people to come to the table, to come even to your side when you truly attempt to understand them.
You have to take the ego out of the negotiation process, because if ego is involved, it's going to get in the way. You're not going to hear the customer. You're not going to address the customer's needs, and you're not going to address the customer's expectations in the negotiation process.
Oh, I've got to defend my product and fight for everything right, and I think that's a natural tendency, because we do tend to get defensive about things that we're passionate about.
It has nothing to do with me versus my clients. It's all of us saying, what makes sense here?
And really connecting with them, not being opposed to them, but with them, having empathy.
I try to mentally slow down, because I think a lot of times our initial reaction is to jump on them, you know, or prove that they're wrong or whatever. But I think it's important to rephrase it so that we're all on the same